this game, both two pretty good offensive teams overall, but the defense seems to be kind of carrying the day. After 4 games, is there a possibility the offense gets better? Like in other words, you're more familiar with each other's coverages, and maybe the offense gets on track a little bit.
Oh, I don't know, Michael. I think that's from what I see, they're a very good defensive team, right? And I think most people around the league would agree with that. They got some guys playing it. They got some great schemes. They got some length. They got some effort. I think the numbers bear out. It's 2 really good defensive teams, and it's physical and makes it hard to score. I don't know if the offense will improve or not.
What's it like coaching in a series like that when it's kind of like a rock fight, and there's just not many possessions that you can go and relax and figure, well, we'll get it back. What's the feeling like for that?
Well, it's difficult, Michael. It's hard work, man. It's the ball goes up, it's 48 minutes of like you said, it's fighting. It's total trying to concentrate totally. It's constant analyzing of what they're doing and what you think you can maybe find to counter what they're doing. It's going by 100 miles an hour. It's difficult. It's like we said at the start of the series, it's 2 really good teams. We thought it'd be a hell of a series, and here we are.
Appreciate it, Nick. Good luck.
Thanks, Michael.
I'm going to go to Tim Reynolds from the Associated Press, who's there in person.
When you're down 0-2, the sense of urgency, where you're going to draw that from is obvious. When it's 2-2, where does that sense come from now?
Well, Tim, I think it's a little bit like we talk after games. You can't get too despondent after a loss, and you can't get too joyous after a win. I think we understand how important each and every one is. And I don't know. I hope that we prepare the same, whether it's 2-2 or 0-2. I hope we're as focused either way too, and that's kind of the sign of a team that can handle long series.
Going to go next to Bruce Arthur from the Toronto Star.
Nick, I hope you're finding new things to do in the bubble. In terms of how difficult this series is and how many interchangeable pieces there are in terms of all the different wings, in terms of how adaptable both teams are, how does this compare to other playoff series, your playoff series last year against really good teams, but none of them kind of played out as tightly and as closely in every single game, I guess, other than game 1 than this one?
Let me think, Bruce. I got to go back here. I don't go back and go through them that often in my head. I agree with you. I think last year, let's see, Orlando series, not very similar to this. I mean, the Sixers series was a little bit similar. I mean, because it's so even, and there was 1 or 2 big margins each way, and then a couple really close ones, and one decided at the buzzer for sure, at least one, maybe 2. I don't know, Bruce. I just think that we know these guys are good. We know we have to play really well to beat them, and we're just hoping to do it. And historical context has helped us because we understand. I think the biggest thing it helps us understand is how hard you got to play, man. You got to play hard for 48. You got to do it game after game after game, and each game is critical in how the series can go and turn and the momentum and all that stuff. So I think from a historical perspective, we learned that how hard you have to play.
In terms of the adjustments and I mean within games and between games, when you have found something you've really liked in general, how durable has it been? By which I mean, like when they adjust back, like it feels like these teams, it's like it's watching arm wrestling, right? Like, and
really good question. Not that durable, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some things that if you looked at the percentages of how many possessions, let's say we played triangle and 2 in game 3, you would say, man, was it super successful? And then you look back at the last game and wasn't successful at all. So you get out of it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's really what you're doing. Like I said, the intensity of what you're evaluating and what's happening out there is super high level. And that's what you're trying to, that's what we're over there for, to try and help put our guys in a little better scenario if we see something that isn't quite right, or we adjust to their adjustment, or try to come up with a counter to the way they're scheming or the way they're guarding. That's it, man.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
I'm going to go next to John Schumann from NBA.com.
Hey, Coach.
John.
I guess along those same lines, offensively, one thing you look for is to hunt mismatches and screen to get certain defenders matched up with certain offensive players. Is that particularly difficult against this team? Maybe just because the way they communicate and sort of scramble out of those mismatches that you might be looking for?
Well, they're certainly very good at it. I think they've got a scheme, or several schemes that they've really worked on all year, and like I kind of alluding. I think what you're alluding to is they can switch and then really quick switch back away from the ball and get size matched on size again really quickly. They're really good at it because they've done it a lot, and they got a like I say, a good system of how they do it, and they communicate well. That's always critical in the playoffs. Can you communicate and get the coverages done the way you want to? There's a lot of that going on at both ends. Everybody's looking for angles and mismatches and directions and any way to find an open shot for guys at both ends. That's for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Next question is going to Jeff Zellget from USA Today, who's there in person.
Hey, Nick, I asked a variation of this question probably last year, but with all these questions about strategy right now, you've coached a long time. How much of this is, again, enjoyable? Is it stressful? What are the combinations that goes in trying to solve, what they're doing and what you're trying to do? And is this what coaching is about?
Yeah, for sure. It's what it's about, especially at this time of the season, right? The playoffs. I don't know if I find it that enjoyable, to be honest with you. I really have mentioned how hard work it is, even in between and all the way through. You're constantly turning that in between games, and then when the ball goes up, it's like the fire comes up higher, right? Because you're there. But I do. It's not miserable either, right? I kind of just accept it as part of the job, right? It's really hard work. It's really high intensity, but it's you gotta kind of pull up your boots and do your job.
Do you wear that like in any terms of stress, or are you pretty calm throughout it?
I would say that I'm a bit of a roller coaster. Sometimes I can look calm as can be over there, and sometimes not. I think if you've watched me coach, you could probably draw that conclusion yourself. But I try to in the biggest moments to get calm, because I think the guys certainly need that, and you don't need to be rattling them at all. That part's not easy either, as you're probably well aware too. Sorry, Robin.
No worries. We're going to do two quick ones to finish off here. First one goes to Aaron Rose from SI.com.
Hey, Nick. Hope you're doing well. After last game, Kemba said that he wanted to be more aggressive. I'm just wondering, do you pay attention to that stuff, and what are you expecting from him tonight?
I think he's probably going to come out and try to play similar to what Kyle's playing at the start, which is just go hard and go as fast as he can until somebody stops him, and he's probably going to be looking for more shots off the screens and trying to do what he does, which is get to the rim, get to the paint, and pull up and hit threes and play fast.
How much do you guys pay attention to other guys' pressers?
I mean, I don't know. We are aware of them, I guess. So I don't know if sometimes you don't know if guys are just talking or just answering standard, or if that's what they really mean, or you got to kind of read between the lines with some things. I would imagine that Kemba's going to come out aggressive tonight. I expect him to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And final question is going to Louis Zatman from Raptors Republic.
Hey, Nick, last year when we talked about, the big picture, how you felt, whether you saw the spectacular, you often said you couldn't until it was over and looked back. Is that true as well this year so far through the grind?
Louis, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understood what you said at the beginning.
Oh, sorry about that.
I don't see what.
You sort of missed the big picture, like the spectacular sense of what was going on,
All right.
just because you were so plugged in.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's the same. It's the same. I think again, I funnily enough, I think I used the term. I tried to put myself in a bubble last year as we were going, so I could concentrate on doing the job to the best of my ability for the players. And that's similar, Louis. I think it's maybe a little easier to be in that scenario right now and focus on what's happening. But that's it, man. It's feels like the games are coming quick, right? One gets over and here we are for another one, and just trying to, again, recuperate, recover, re-energize, re-strategize, and then get ready to go and have the juice to last the 48 with the players out there.